new. This is kind
Oh,
of
it
developed
is?
in the last year.
Oh, okay.
Right, and the same, and the white on the top has gotten a little
more pronounced. She's got a little bit here too, but that's...
Yeah.
And you can see how it scrapes off a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is, but
well,
it doesn't look good to me.
If it doesn't scrape off easily,
yeah.
that's a good sign. But if it scrapes off pretty easily, and you can see how it's a little bit scrapable, that's why I use my fingernails.
Yeah.
It just indicates that there probably isn't either the temperature or something in the water is maybe just slightly off. It's not majorly, because it's basically a very, very, very mild form of shell rot. Not, the shell rot like bacteria, but more or less. And it could be bacteria, but it certainly isn't deep, and it's not like chunks of it are coming off.
Yeah.
Many of our domestically kept ones, you can't make it perfect. You do your best, but once again, they're never going to be 100%. And without natural daylight, sometimes they do get a little bit more of it too, because of the fact that UV light is great for health of their shell. It really is. You can see she is peeling a little bit there. Now, when you see something like that, peel it off.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I mean, you don't want to use any instruments, but using your fingernails is fine. Because the thing is, if it stays on there, it's just trapping stuff underneath it. It's this little flap, and then they're more likely to get problems. I mean, a little peeling can be normal too, especially if you've had them for a while. They just, sometimes a little edge comes off.
I guess the discoloration is what, got me worried.
Well, they normally will discolor when they come out of light. I mean, to a certain extent, as they get older, because their shell is changing. And oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's perfect. Because natural light is always the best thing to look at them under. But,
oh really? Well, we can go outside.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute.
Go outside.
Does she ever get to go outside?
She might be out when I change her water, maybe an hour or two once a week, but that's about all. And when I put her out, I don't let her roam. But she's in I put her in indirect sun, not in direct sun.
No, so that's fine. You don't want her to overheat.
But of course, I mean, so like really, it might be, actually it's not every week, it's about every 2 weeks.
Okay.
She's out in direct sun for about an hour or an hour and a half. Now that's not something that I intentionally do. It's just that it's convenient to put her out there.
Right.
I can, I want to improve her situation.
Yeah.
This is really a survival mode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really, I don't consider this really the right habitat whatsoever. It's a survival mode that we've done.
Right, exactly.
We really didn't plan to have big turtle habitat, but when you have the creature, to me I'm coming up with a decision whether to give her to a rescue place or set her up properly.
And it's not, just to let you know, as far as the rescue places, they don't always have them very ideal either.
Yeah,
quite honestly, because they usually get so overwhelmed that they may have a big tank, but they have lots of turtles in there. So there's a lot of aggression, a lot of territory, especially these guys. They will, I mean, if there's more than a certain number per gallon, they will actually, you saw how she was with me. She'll be like helping another turtle too. Get out of my space.
Really.
Honk. And they bite each other. They get wounds. They can hurt each other. I mean, they won't kill each other. I mean, they're not that aggressive, but indirectly they bite on each other's legs, toes, things like that.
So they will go after each other.
Oh yeah. And, the sliders, the tortoises, you can throw a ton of them in one little space.
They
and
will make their own space.
Whatever. That's just tortoise.
But probably because they're being put in an environment that they're so close together, they almost have no choice but to defend themselves in a way.
Well, it's just their personality. Different animals have different personalities. You put two rabbits that don't know each other in a closed, confined space, you have problems. You stick two Labradors in a closed, confined space, they don't care. It all comes down to their ingrained personality. And red-eared sliders are naturally territorial, much more aggressive species than any of the tortoises, and actually even more so than most of the natural turtles out here. That's why we have so many problems. Is the the western pond turtle? People release these guys in the pond, and these guys just wipe them out.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're so aggressive.
Yeah.
They chase them off. And eventually they die out because they don't have any place to eat or do anything like that. So, these guys are just not very nice.
Yeah.
But she's so sweet.
Oh, she is, but I meant to other turtles.
I know.
Right.
Well, and also you can see how, if I stuck my finger there, she'd have no problem biting it.
She's got David.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't gone full force on me.
No, but
Usually it's a claw more than an
Yeah.
actual bite because it's so obvious. I've been bitten by turtles before
Yeah.
that have gone.
I mean, the only ones that are more
blood.
aggressive are probably little alligator or snapping turtles.
Well, those ones you'll really
exactly.
lose something.
Exactly.
But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty careful with how I handle her. Anyway, so this is the areas that I'm concerned.
Yeah,
with.
and most sliders that I've seen that have been in captivity almost always do eventually get some of this.
I don't want it
changes.
though. How do